And now, BX Forever presents another RPG deep dive.
Welcome to another episode of BX Forever.
Today, we're going to explore something pretty unique.
Oh, yeah.
It's a whole bunch of adventures, all based around the same location.
Okay.
A mysterious location. The Dark Temple.
Nice.
And you've sent over these amazing scenarios, and we're going to look at what makes this place so compelling for storytellers.
Yeah, it is fascinating how a single location can inspire so many different stories. We'll see how each of these designers took this abandoned temple and made something completely different.
It's like a master class in world building, right?
Totally.
Now, before we get lost in the, the crumbling walls and the shadowy corridors, I think it's important to remember these scenarios came from a fan contest.
Oh, cool.
The challenge was to create an adventure based on the same temple description. And the variety we have here shows just how versatile that concept in abandoned temple can be.
Exactly. And that shared foundation makes the differences even more striking. So, if you're listening, picture this, the Dark Temple. It's perched on a cliff overlooking the sea just north of the town of Slateholm. Once a place of worship for a sea god.
Okay.
Then it was overrun by hobgoblins.
Oh, wow.
And then finally abandoned to the elements. Now, rumors swirl about a new and secretive priesthood taking up residence.
I'm already getting chills. It's like the perfect setup for a spooky adventure.
Right. The description emphasizes that sense of decay, forgotten history. They talk about areas open to the sky, leaky roofs.
Yeah.
Just that feeling that something could be lurking just out of sight.
Okay, bring on the monsters. What's the first adventure we're diving into?
Let's start with the horror within. This one leans heavily into psychological horror, plays on that fear of the unknown.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Where does it start?
It all begins in a tavern called the Spoiled Mermaid in the nearby village of St. Dagon's Cove. The players meet a character named Long John Ahab. He's offering a reward for rescuing his wife, Eleanor, from the temple.
Wait, is she being held prisoner? What's going on?
That's the question. Long John thinks she's been bewitched, but the adventure leaves it open.
Okay.
Could be more to her story.
Right.
Maybe she's unhappy in the marriage or sought refuge in the temple.
Ah, so right from the start, there's this moral ambiguity, a chance for the players to make their own judgments. It's not just black and white, good and evil.
Yeah, you got it. And that complexity is woven throughout the whole adventure. Of course, there are dangerous encounters like these creepy canine mercenaries guarding the temple.
Oh.
They're basically humanoid dog creatures. I thought that was pretty unique.
So not your average guard dogs then. And I'm guessing things get even weirder inside the temple.
Oh, absolutely. The players eventually encounter the cult leader, Zulak, who conducts this unsettling ceremony. And let's just say things take a horrifying turn.
Oh, I love a good plot twist. Don't leave me hanging. What happens?
Well, you might think you're dealing with a standard creepy cult, but then Zulak undergoes this transformation into a were-cockroach.
What?
A were-cockroach?
Like a grotesque hybrid of man and insect. I think that perfectly captures the sense of corruption that permeates the temple.
Okay, yeah. That's definitely nightmare fuel. And is that where the horror within comes in? Is it this internal transformation, this loss of humanity?
I think it's a big part of it,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also this growing sense of dread as the players uncover more of the cult's secrets. They find out that the nondescript meat they'd been eating is actually human flesh. And then they have to deal with these giant ghoul cockroaches and potentially deadly insect swarms.
Oh my gosh.
It plays with that primal fear, being overwhelmed and consumed.
Yeah, you've convinced me. I would not want to run into a were-cockroach in a dark alley.
Nope.
Or anywhere, really. Speaking of shifting gears, the next adventure, 3 days of plus and music,
Good.
takes a very different approach.
Cool.
Instead of horror, we've got a music festival. Thousands of attendees, multiple stages, food vendors, the whole shebang. It's such a jarring juxtaposition to the previous scenario, which I think is part of the brilliance. Okay, now I'm really intrigued. How does this peaceful festival tie into the Dark Temple's, creepy history?
Well, the players are working for the festival director, Charmise.
Okay.
She's facing some problems. The headlining musician, Jay Sylvanpool, has disappeared.
Oh, no.
And then there's this mysterious hourglass-shaped apparition haunting the ruined sanctuary.
Oh.
Not exactly the kind of energy you want at a music festival.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's a mystery to solve. But how does that connect to the temple itself?
Well, the adventure cleverly uses the festival as a way to explore the temple's past. There were these weird scenes scattered throughout the grounds,
Right.
ghostly illusions that provide clues about what happened there.
Oh, like flashbacks or something. Yeah, like one scene shows a man summoning strange creatures through an octagonal frame, which ends up being directly linked to the threat that emerges later.
So even though it's a music festival on the surface, there are these hints of something darker lurking beneath. The energy of the music and the crowds is attracting something sinister.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It plays with that idea that the temple is a conduit for supernatural forces, and the festival is like inadvertently amplifying that connection.
And that's really cool.
It subverts your expectations. You think you're getting this lighthearted adventure,
Yeah.
and then bam, you're facing some cosmic horror.
Okay, I'm definitely seeing a pattern here. Transformation is a major theme in these Dark Temple adventures.
Yeah.
First we had the war cockroach, and now this idea of the festival itself transforming into something much more sinister.
That's a great observation. And speaking of transformation, the next adventure, Farron's Folly, goes deep into the legacy of a corrupted priest. Suggests that the Dark Temple has ties to some serially ancient and powerful entities.
Okay, color me intrigued. Tell me more about this corrupted priest and the deeper history of the temple.
This one brings in some Lovecraftian elements, specifically deep ones, and they're manipulating Farron and his followers. It turns out the temple has been a focal point for their influence for centuries.
Whoa, so we're not just dealing with a spooky abandoned temple anymore. This place has a connection to a vast and potentially world-ending conspiracy. It makes you wonder what else might be lurking beneath the surface.
Exactly, and there's one deep one in particular, Veru.
Okay.
He's aiming to use the cult to communicate with his own otherworldly gods.
Wow.
It really expands the scope.
This is incredible. We've gone from psychological horror to a music festival with a dark twist, and now we're diving into Lovecraftian cults. Each one builds on the last one, adding another layer to the mystery of the Dark Temple.
And we're just getting started. We have 3 more adventures to explore.
This is already blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
Let's shift gears a bit and look at an adventure that really leans into the temple's history.
Okay.
Temple of the Seas suggests that the original structure was destroyed centuries ago.
What?
Yeah, because of some pretty serious heresies committed within its walls.
Ooh, that's giving me goosebumps.
Yeah.
So we're not just dealing with a spooky abandoned place, we're dealing with a place with some serious bad juju built right in.
Exactly. It makes you wonder what remnants of that ancient evil are still lingering in those dark, damp halls, and what might happen if those remnants are disturbed.
Okay, I'm officially creeped out, but also really excited to see how this adventure plays out. What kind of horrors does it unleash?
Well, that's where the game master really gets to, flex their creative muscles. The adventure provides a framework, but it's up to the game master to bring those ancient horrors to life. Imagine twisted rituals, vengeful spirits, and maybe even a glimpse into the twisted beliefs that led to the temple's destruction.
You're making me want to run this adventure right now. It's so evocative. I can practically smell the incense and feel the cold, damp stone beneath my fingertips.
I know, right?
Speaking of transporting, the next adventure, Descent into Culwich, takes a different approach, focusing on the temple as a site of exploration and discovery.
Think Indiana Jones meets Ancient Mysteries.
Yeah.
This time, the players are drawn to the temple by rumors of hidden chambers, ancient symbols, and of course, deadly traps.
Okay, I'm officially hooked. What kind of traps are we talking about? Spiked pits, swinging blades, tell me everything.
Well, there's one trap involving a staircase that collapses into a slide,
Oh, no.
sending the players hurtling down into a chamber laced with razor wire.
Talk about a rough landing.
Yeah.
But the real prize has got to be that treasure, right? Every good dungeon needs a treasure hoard.
You know it. And this one is guarded by a classic, a Medusa. But what's really interesting is how this adventure incorporates elements from the other scenarios. Remember those deep ones from Farron's Folly?
Of course. Those creepy Lovecraftian creatures lurking in the depths. Don't tell me they're connected to the Medusa.
They are. The Medusa is a servant of the deep ones, adding another layer to this grand conspiracy we've been uncovering. It creates this sense of interconnectedness, like all these seemingly separate threats are all part of a much larger web of intrigue and danger.
Wow, I love that. It makes the world feel so much more real, so much more cohesive. It's not just a random assortment of monsters. It's a living, breathing ecosystem of evil.
Exactly. And it leaves you wondering what other connections might be out there waiting to be discovered.
Okay, we've got one more adventure to go, and from the looks of it, it's a bit unconventional. 3 days of peace and music. Wait a minute, didn't we already cover a music festival adventure?
We did. But this one takes the concept in a completely different direction. It's almost like the game master looked at the other scenarios and said, hold my beer.
I love it. So what's the deal with this musical mayhem? Are we talking about a battle of the bands with magical instruments?
Not quite. This time we've got a group of bards who, through their enthusiastic performance, accidentally summon a terrifying extra-dimensional being.
Oh, no. So instead of rocking out, they've unleashed an eldritch horror upon the world.
You got it. And this creature is something else. Imagine a horrifying mass of tentacles, flapping appendages, and an insatiable hunger for, well, everything.
Definitely getting some serious Lovecraftian vibes here.
Yeah.
But it makes you think, can music really be that powerful?
Yeah.
Can it actually act as a bridge between dimensions?
That's the question this adventure explores. It plays with the idea that music, especially when performed with a certain intensity, can tap into forces beyond our understanding.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's brought something truly nasty into our world.
So what happens? How do the players deal with this musical monstrosity?
They have to investigate the temple, searching for clues about how the creature was summoned and how to send it back.
Right.
But there's a catch. The creature is steadily growing stronger, warping the minds of everyone around it.
So it's a race against time then. They have to stop this creature before it consumes everything in its path.
Absolutely. And the clock is ticking. The players have to use all their wits and skills to prevent a full-blown cosmic apocalypse.
Okay, my head is spinning. We've got psychological horror, Lovecraftian cults, Indiana Jones-style exploration, and now a musical apocalypse.
It's amazing how many different stories you can tell within the same location. As we wrap up our discussion of these 6 adventures, what common threads are you seeing emerge?
Well, you already mentioned transformation. I think that's a really powerful theme that runs through all these scenarios.
Yeah.
We see it with Zulak becoming a werecockroach, the Deep Ones corrupting Farron's followers, and even the musicians inadvertently summoning a cosmic horror through their music.
It's like the temple itself acts as a catalyst for change, forcing characters to confront their deepest fears and desires.
It's like the temple is a crucible, a place where people are tested and transformed, for better or for worse. And it's not just the characters, it's the players, too. These adventures challenge us to think differently, to step outside our comfort zones, and to embrace the unknown.
You're absolutely right. And another recurring theme is this sense of isolation. Whether it's the physical isolation of the temple itself or the psychological isolation of the characters who are drawn to it, each adventure seems to explore the ways in which we can be cut off from the outside world.
That's a great point. It's like the temple is this liminal space, a place where the rules of the ordinary world no longer apply. And that can be both terrifying and exhilarating.
Exactly. And it's that combination of fear and wonder that makes these adventures so compelling. They tap into something deep within us, something that draws us to the unknown, even when we know it might be dangerous.
So for our listener, you're starting to understand what makes the Dark Temple such a captivating setting. It's not just a spooky backdrop.
Yeah. It's a catalyst for transformation, a crucible for testing limits, and a mirror reflecting our own fascination with the unknown. And we haven't even touched on the visual possibilities. Imagine the crumbling architecture, the overgrown courtyards, the flickering shadows cast by torches. It's a feast for the senses.
Oh, I can picture it perfectly. We've been exploring these incredible Dark Temple adventures, and I'm starting to realize it's more than just a cool setting. It's almost like a character in its own right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think that's one of the things that makes it so visually compelling. You know, that imagery of abandoned temples. It's so evocative. You've got crumbling stone, overgrown vegetation, nature winning back what was once man-made.
Yes. You can practically feel the dampness in the air, smell that musty scent of decay.
Right.
Like you're transported there just by reading the descriptions.
Exactly. And those descriptions often highlight the play of like light and shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Think about those shafts of sunlight piercing through cracks in the ceiling, illuminating dust motes in the air, or maybe the flickering glow of torches casting those eerie shadows.
Ooh, that's giving me chills. It's like the perfect setting for a horror movie.
Right.
Or, in this case, a truly immersive tabletop RPG experience.
You nailed it. And those visual elements aren't just for atmosphere.
Right.
They can actually be used in the game.
Okay.
Like imagine a hidden passage revealed by a beam of moonlight.
Oh.
hitting a specific spot,
Yeah.
or a trap triggered by a shadow.
That's so clever. It's like the environment itself is part of the gameplay,
Exactly.
adding another layer of challenge.
For sure. And don't forget about the symbolism.
Right.
Abandoned temples are often associated with those forgotten gods. Lost civilizations,
Yeah.
the passage of time.
Yeah.
They represent how nothing lasts forever.
Right.
How nature always wins in the end.
That's a really profound way to look at it. It's not just about spooky aesthetics. It's the cyclical nature of existence.
Precisely. And I think that's why these adventures resonate with us.
Yeah.
They tap into our fascination with the past, our anxieties about the future,
Right.
our place in the grand scheme of things.
Okay, so we've talked about the narrative themes, the visual elements, the gameplay. What are some of the things that make the Dark Temple so versatile for storytellers?
Well, for one, it's a blank slate.
Okay.
You can populate it with any creatures you want,
Right.
any cultures, any magic system.
Yeah.
It's like a canvas for your creativity.
Right. It could be a dungeon crawl with hordes of goblins,
Mhm.
or it could be a more atmospheric exploration, like ancient mysteries and forgotten lore.
Or it could be something completely different. We've already seen how these adventures bend the rules, mix genres, twist those familiar tropes.
And that's what makes it so exciting. There's this sense of possibility
Right.
that anything could happen within those crumbling walls.
And that's ultimately what draws us in.
Yeah,
That chance to escape the ordinary, explore the unknown,
right.
to confront those things that both scare us and excite us.
It's like stepping into a portal to another world where the rules are different, where magic is real.
And as we've seen, the Dark Temple can be a gateway to all sorts of adventures. Horror, wonder, discovery, transformation.
So for you listening, what would your version of the Dark Temple look like? What secrets would it hold? What kind of adventure would you create?
We hope this deep dive has given you some inspiration and shown you how a seemingly simple location can be the start of so many creative possibilities.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the heart of the Dark Temple. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a fascinating topic. Until then, keep exploring, keep creating, and keep those imaginations running wild.